Hello, welcome to this look at how to identify a base by titration. This is an example of an applied and more challenging A1 titration question in chemistry. So it requires the processing of a described procedure and also the implementation of what's called a scaling factor. I'll talk a little bit more about when the scaling factor idea pops up in the question as I take you through it. So first of all, let's process the information the question gives you and think about visualizing the procedure that they're describing. So a student carries out an investigation to identify an unknown group 1 metal. So obviously the metal is going to be one of these. You'll notice if you have your periodic table in front of you, I've not included francium at the bottom. That's because that element, even though it's very reactive, is also radioactive. It's unlikely the student's going to be carrying out an investigation using a hydroxide of a radioactive element. So the student reacts 2.62 grams of the group 1 metal with water and a solution is formed. So I'm going to visualize that idea at the bottom with a grey cube representing a little piece of my metal M. That goes into water, which then gets dissolved and made up to the mark in a volumetric flask to 250 centimeters cubed. Then the student pipettes 25 centimeters cubed of this into a conical flask and titrates it. Obviously you can see the change in the color of the indicator. So this technique of actually drawing out what you think is going on is really helpful to let you sort of work out when any scaling factor might come in. So the scaling factor basically is your calculation is going to be based around what happens in this conical flask. But this conical flask contains 25 centimeters cubed, which was taken from 250 centimeters cubed, into which my 2.62 grams of metal went. So in essence, only 1/10 of my solution was actually titrated, wasn't it? So that must mean I've got to scale something back up once I've done my calculation to do with my titration here. So now we've had to think about what's actually happening. We can start to answer the question. Now they ask you to name the type of flask the student should use. So they mentioned a conical flask, but the conical flask was the one that went under the burette. What they're looking for is this flask. This is called a volumetric flask. So what they're testing here is your knowledge of the different types of equipment that you'd use to carry out a titration. This would be the volumetric flask that you use to make up a solution to then be titrated. Then they ask you to handle the titration results, and they don't include the rough titer. Obviously you can see that that's been omitted. It tells you up here. So they want the mean titer of H2SO4 to the nearest 0.05 centimeters cubed. So what that means is that every titration reading and the resulting titers worked out from them have to be to 2 decimal places and end in 0 or 5. So you'll notice that I put the 5 and the 0 in black to highlight the fact that each of them has to end with one of those two numbers. If I include the screenshot of the calculator value, you can see that it says 20.6. I had to then add in the 0. In other words, I had to remember that it's to the nearest 0.05. If I put in 20.6, that would not be the correct answer because it doesn't express it to the nearest 0.05. So to calculate the mean titer, I have to identify the concordant results, which agree to within plus or minus 0.1 centimeters cubed. So I'm completely ignoring the 20.60. So again, if I put those into my calculator, you can see I get 20.3. And I'm going to write it down as 20.30 because that is to 0.05 centimeters cubed. Then they wanted to calculate the amount in moles of MOH in 25 centimeters cubed of the solution and determine the identity of the group 1 metal M from this. So taking the parts of the question from earlier that are important here, I'm going to use the data moles equation moles answer technique. So my volume of MOH is 25 centimeters cubed because it tells me right here. Also, I know that there was 20.30 centimeters cubed of H2SO4 because I just worked that out. and I know the concentration of H2SO4 from the question is 0.165. So these two can work out the moles of H2SO4 for me. Now I'm going to keep my calculator value so I don't start introducing error inadvertently in the stages of my calculation. So looking at the equation, it tells us that the number of moles of MOH, the number of moles of H2SO4 is 2 to 1. So therefore I need to double the number of moles of H2SO4 to get the number of moles of MOH in my titration, which is the 25 centimeters cubed volume. Now that came originally from 250 centimeters cubed, didn't it? So I need to multiply up my number of moles in my titration by 10 to work out the total number of original moles of MOH that I had, which came originally as well from the metal M being put into the water. So the mass of metal M in 250 centimeters cubed would be 2.62 grams, and that must mean that the mass divided by the moles is 2.62 divided by 0.06699, which gives us potassium as our final answer. Mark scheme, you can see what they want, and what's quite interesting is they've also listed the common errors, the mistakes that might lead to different numbers apart from 39.1, and therefore different metals being chosen. So, as always, it's quite useful to have a look at the mark scheme once you've actually had a look at the question and connect what you did in the question with what's in the mark scheme. As always, also, they're going to allow ECF in every single case. So, thanks for listening. Until next time, see you soon.